SpaceSUITE has been promoted within Erasmus Plus program under the action line Blueprint for Sectoral Cooperation on Skills. So it is a so-called blueprint project, and this kind of projects have very specific objectives which are detailed already by the funding authority, let's say, and that you must meet already at the moment of project submission. Main objectives are to gather skills intelligence on the sector you cover, so in our case, space downstream. And skills intelligence means the full set of data, information, studies, research and so on, which could provide you a comprehensive view of the sector from the point of view of which are the skills needed now. Also trying to understand, to anticipate which will be emerging occupational profiles, at the same time understanding which is the available training and education offer in the fields. Of course, we know already that there is a mismatch in the provision of skills for the space downstream sector. So the second step is to design, develop and deliver training material and the core curricula for education and training according to the needs which have been identified within the project, and bearing in mind that we should still, according to the request of the Commission, face two major challenges and provide a so-called reactive response within the first year, tackling the need of those occupational profiles in demand nowadays, so without looking for trends and so on. And then we have in the next 3 years to deliver the so-called proactive response, where we will have to cover emerging occupational profiles, which could be new profiles according to the technological developments, but also societal development, economic development, and also skills needed to put into practice and actually implement policy priority, for instance, by the European Commission. Of course, one of the main purposes of this kind of projects is also to deliver a sector skills strategy to allow that skills development are pursued not only during the project lifetime, but even afterwards. These kind of projects are expected to deliver long-term action plan as well, enabling the sector skills strategy to be implemented in the next 3 to 5 to 10 years after the end of the project. So these are more or less the main streamlines of activities of our blueprint projects like SpaceSUITE. EU4Geo project was still a blueprint project, so it had as well, among its main objectives, the release of a sector skills strategy and the need to continue working on skills development. In that case, it was only on Earth observation and geoinformation after the project end. So the project ended in 2022, but according to the sector skills strategy released by the project partners and the commitment, I might say, by all the partners, we set an alliance to continue the work and to work in order to promote something also more stable and more recognized in a way by the European Commission, to be promoted within the Path for Skills. Shortly, the Path for Skills is a very important initiative by the European Commission, launched in November 2020, where it is foreseen that all key stakeholders in specific sector, which are defined by the industrial ecosystem of the Europe industry strategy, gather together and pool efforts and resources for skills development in each specific sector. Now, legacy of EU4Geo fall under the ecosystem aerospace and defense, where, let's say, the part related to services is one small part, let's say, of the big ecosystem. So what we had in mind since the very beginning of the alliance born after EU4Geo was to go to large-scale skills partnership under the Path for Skills, specifically devoted to space downstream, and so to space data services and application. And that led to the launch on the 25th of April 2023 of the large-scale skills partnership Space4Geo, which take the legacy of EU4Geo. It is an evolution of it, but it's covering the full downstream spectrums. So not only Earth observation and geoinformation, but also positioning, navigation and timing and satellite communication. At the same time, more or less with the same deadline, there was the possibility to submit the proposal for a new blueprint project, which had as mandatory condition that all its partners were members of a large-scale skills partnership, so that fit perfectly the time, and we managed to submit the SpaceSUITE project at the beginning of May, and hopefully we were successful. And this would have been possible without the legacy of EU4Geo and the subsequent launch of Space4Geo as large-scale skills partnership. The kickoff meeting is still ongoing, so probably there will be further outcomes up to tomorrow. But as first takeaway, let's say, from the discussion, I would say that it is impressive the level of commitment, and I would say also of enthusiasm of all the partners involved, who already started working together to achieve the ambitious goals of the project. And particularly for the reactive response I was mentioning before, it is fundamental to start the activities very quickly, quite soon. I think this is the first takeaway I would say of today. And also the fact that it is evident that all the activities of the project are strictly interconnected, so it is important to keep the storyline among the different work packages so that the delivery, design and development of training materials, curricula and so on is really based on the activities on skills development and can rely on the activities of the work packages related to dissemination, mainstreaming, rollout and sustainability.